How does Michael Moore use humor and irony in his political commentary? If you've ever watched a Michael Moore documentary, you might have noticed that he often uses humor and irony to drive home his points. But how exactly does he do this, and why is it so effective? Michael Moore's career as a documentary filmmaker is marked by his unique blend of humor, irony, and sharp political commentary. Let's start with his debut film, Roger and Me. In this documentary, Moore uses humor to highlight the serious issues faced by the people of Flint, Michigan, after General Motors closed its factories. He employs comedic elements like satire and irony to make the film more engaging and accessible to a wider audience. One of the key ways Moore uses humor is through his interviewing style. For instance, in Bowling for Columbine, his interview with Charlton Heston, then the president of the National Rifle Association, is often cited as an example. While some critics felt the interview was unfair, Moore's approach was to use humor to expose the contradictions and absurdities in Heston's arguments, making the serious topic of gun violence more palatable and thought-provoking. Moore also relies heavily on irony. In Sicko, he highlights the absurdity of the American healthcare system by showing how a critic who ran a Hate Michael Moore website had to shut it down because he couldn't afford health insurance. Moore then writes this critic a $12,000 check to help him pay for his health care, illustrating the irony of a system where even his critics suffer from its flaws. Another aspect of Moore's humor is his use of strategic editing and narrative techniques. He often juxtaposes serious footage with humorous music or commentary to create a stark contrast that makes his points more memorable. For example, in Fahrenheit 9/11, he uses comedic interludes to break the tension and make the film more engaging, even as he tackles very serious topics like the War on Terror. Moore's approach has not been without controversy. Some critics argue that using humor in documentaries trivializes the subject matter. However, Moore believes that humor can be a powerful tool for making serious issues more relatable and engaging. He argues that some of the best comedy comes from intense anger at the injustices around us, and he uses this anger to fuel his humorous critiques. In addition to his films, Moore's public appearances and speeches often incorporate humor. During his acceptance speech for the Academy Award for Bowling for Columbine, he criticized President George W. Bush and the Iraq War, but he also used humor to lighten the mood, showing that even in serious moments, humor can be a powerful tool. Overall, Michael Moore's use of humor and irony is a deliberate choice to make his documentaries more engaging and to reach a broader audience. By combining serious issues with comedic elements, he creates a unique style that not only entertains, but also provokes thought and action.